Serena done ethered that boy. Done ethered Kordell. And Daya, you too pretty to not have no shame. Too pretty to not have no shame, but it seems like she might be catching on to the shame that she needs to have in Sunday's episode. But we got a lot to get into. So before we do, please thumbs up the video. Please drop a comment down below. If you are new here, please subscribe because I think we got like 2 more weeks of this. I'm gonna be here every single night that the show airs. Jump in the comments. Let's keep the conversation going. And yeah, we on the road to 5K, so let's keep it moving. But let's go. All right, so we get back from where we left off last night. Kayla is still walking around crying. Liv and Nicole are still walking behind her, comforting her. She's stating that she's delusional because Nicole had pretty much said, like, you're not the idiot. Because she's walking around saying, I feel like an idiot. And Nicole's like, no, you're not the idiot. He's the one that fucked something up that was good. Liv is also telling her he's the idiot, not you. But Kayla is claiming that she's done. And I'm like, I doubt it, but okay. But she's also pissed about Kendall talking shit. Like, she looked at him as like a brother, and him talking shit, that didn't help the case for her anyway. But Liv is popping her shit as usual. Kayla is saying that she ain't trying to go tit for tat with him, but she's at this point where she's now wanting to be more open because that's what she deserves. I said, yeah, you do deserve to be a little bit more open, but you're not going to do it. And she didn't do it. We'll get to it later on, but she's still crying. Still crying. But the trio, Serena, Janae, and Leah, they're together. They go show the boys what Kordell's been doing. So they showing the boys the video. And Serena's saying the last thing she gonna do is let a 22-year-old man get her worked up. And that's why she moved the way she do. And she said, if you think you're gonna come back in here in this bitch and swindle me, no, it's not gonna happen. You finished, you done. So Serena's popping her shit now. She's talking about how he's been saying how he's pretty much been telling her everything that she wanted to hear. And the last time that they were together, she's talking to all of them in there, all the boys, Leah, Janae. She's saying the last time that they really were together, like in the same vicinity, they kind of left on good terms. Like she was telling him like pretty much everything was good. And they finally got to the point where they were a little bit more physical than what they were the entire time outside of the challenges. So at this point, she's pretty much saying like, I started to cave in. I started to finally fold. And this is how you do me. That's how she's feeling. And she gets in her confessional saying it smells like a bitch. Talking about him. Serena and company, which is Janae and Leah, they end up coming up to the makeup room with the rest of the girls. Serena saying she's done. She's ready to rip him to shreds. She ain't wanting to be in that villa with him and another bitch. So Serena is on her tirade right now. She ain't for it. Leah is upset for them because they haven't done anything outside of the challenges and they've been sleeping outside, which is true. And Leah was cracking me up. In her confessional, she said, one's over here sucking cheap ass chapstick and the other one's over here rubbing some dirty ass feet. I was dying laughing because it's true. It is true. But Liv ends up saying that she can't wait till they walk down them stairs, girl or not. You know, Liv is always on go. So she ready to go tag up. But Kayla is still sitting there crying and screaming. She's spazzing out, trying to make everything about her. It's like Serena's trying to talk about her situation, but Kayla is screaming about how the same old shit she's been screaming about since 2 episodes ago. But she's still screaming and doing all that stuff, making it about her. But back at Casa Amor, Rob and Aaron, they're having a conversation. And Rob is pretty much asking Aaron, like, what are you going to do? Like, what are you going to do? Aaron says, like, Daniela's a great girl, but there's a small part of him that is feeling guilty about what he's doing, knowing how Kayla is feeling knowing how she would feel if she knew this. And he's saying that he came to the realization that he keeps finding himself thinking about Kayla, and it makes it feel like she's his one, like his person. I'm like, no, stop. You now realized, okay, it's about time where we about to probably get back over here. And I know America has been seeing us as like this couple. They haven't hit the bottom 3 in any type of vote. So he's thinking strategically. I don't think he, for one, is really thinking about Kayla for real. That's just my opinion. Rob is sitting there talking about how he's proud of him for not getting he's proud of him for going through the motions and explored whatever connection he felt like he wanted to explore with the girls that were there. But Rob is then saying that he's been having someone who's been he's been somebody who's been in the Casa Amor position before. He's pretty much telling Aaron, you need to go tell Daniela. Like, you need to go tell her that you're leaning more towards staying with Kayla. AKA, Rob wants him to go tell Daniela so he can have an easier way with getting with Daniela so he can bring somebody back. But Rob is trying to swoop in. That's just really what it is. Aaron is saying, well, not Aaron. Rob is saying that Aaron is his best friend and he wants to hang out with him as much as he can. But if he's coupled up with Daniela and she's around and he's around, it's going to be kind of awkward because he knows that Daniela still likes Aaron. But Aaron and Daniela, they have their conversation. He says that he wants to be honest with her and pretty much let her know that he's been trying to figure out what he wants to do. He was stating that he was not expecting to come in here and find a connection, but he's struggling with the fact that he cares about Kayla and has something good going on there, and he's leaning more towards Kayla. Daniela says, okay, like, I like you and all, but I get it. Even though it sucks, I get it. But she says that he deserves everything and more, and if it's not her, that's fine. But she's not going to be mad about it. She did take it on the chin. I think she knew that she had another option to get back in that house, so she wasn't really tripping about it. But Aaron is now pitching her to go talk to Rob. Go talk and get to know Rob so she can get in the villa. That's essentially what it is. And I said, doing this with one day headed into the villa, that's crazy. That is literally crazy because there's no other reason as to why he would be pushing her to go get to know Rob other than the fact that he wants her in that villa. For what reason, we don't know. But it looks messy because you trying to bring in the girl that you know eventually Kayla's gonna find out about this, even if you don't think that you were on that video that was sent over there. You've watched the show before. You know there's a movie night, and you know what is messy is gonna be shown, and that's messy. And then you gonna want to bring her over there and have her sitting there in front of Kayla. Crazy. But back at the villa, Kayla is walking around looking for the phone. And she's literally watching the shit all over again. Just literally self-inflicting pain on herself. She's watching it and crying. Jacoby and I think it was George, they were standing around. Jacoby ends up asking her, like, do you feel betrayed? And she starts crying again. And I don't know if y'all caught it, her eyes, like the bags under her eyes, them bitches is heavy. Like, she been crying so much, them things is thick under her eyes. I said, that's crazy. Your bags are bagging. But Liv comes down. Her and Ignacio, they are pretty much hyping Kayla up. She starts screaming like she ain't really. She's screaming off, "Fuck Casa Amor!" Da, da, da. They can hear her over there at Casa Amor. They can't make out what she's saying, but they know it's her. What, especially Aaron, he knows that voice, so they can hear her over there screaming. They can't make out what she's saying though. But Casa Amor, back at Casa Amor, Rob and Daniela, they're talking. She's talking about how the way he stares into somebody's eyes can make them nervous. She claims that she feels that she could talk to him about anything. He's being his boring self, barely contributing to the conversation, talking about how he doesn't talk a lot. Yeah, we get it. We know. We know. But he claims that he clicks with her the most. And I'm like, really? I couldn't tell. But Daniela is claiming that she's been feeling Rob and that he was her number one coming into the house before she got there. I'm like, really? You've been all over Aaron. I don't know how, but Rob claims that he was interested in her from the start. He was immediately with what was that girl's name? Destiny, I think. Who was really pretty, and she didn't get. I'm shocked that she was not the one that got pulled back to the house because I don't know, that's weird. But nothing else was being talked about between the two of them. They weren't really talking about shit. But Aaron and Kendall, they're watching, and Kendall is asking Aaron if he had closed it off with Daniela, and Aaron confirms it, and he's stating that she's such a good person and he wants her to find somebody in the villa, but knows if Rob brings Daniela back, it's going to be something with Kayla. I'm like, duh, but that's what you want. You want mess. And Kendall's over there being messy yet again. But Janae and Leah back at the villa. Leah's wondering what Miguel is doing, and considering how Kordell and Aaron have been moving, she's expecting him to choose somebody and bring somebody back. And Janae is like, she feels that Leah has nothing to worry about. I said, Janae, be for real. We talking about Miguel here. Miguel is over there to have a ball. Miguel is there, and that's the crazy thing. Miguel is over there to have a ball, but I feel like with Sierra, I feel like there could be something there. Honestly, he's more enamored with her. He's physically attracted to her because she's beautiful, but you could tell there's more than just that, which I feel might be something different from Miguel. Miguel seems like the type that is just used to getting sex and keeping it moving, but you could tell he is actually enamored with Sierra. But Miguel and Kendall, they're talking. Kendall's being nosy, asking about him and Sierra, and Miguel says she's good vibes, she's sexy, and she can kiss really well. And Kendall got oddly excited when he said that she can kiss really well. And he does that a lot when these boys start talking about the girls kissing. I'm like, why are you so excited about that? But Miguel ends up saying that he could bring her back, and he's kind of going back and forth on what to do. Rob comes over, and Miguel says that he's indecisive about things because things are good with Leah, and he's still looking to get to know her, but he and Sierra are hitting it off steadily. Like, it's moving really well. So he's saying it's a strong possibility that he could bring Sierra back. So he's talking about how good their conversations are, and it's also lustful too because his dick gets hard. He literally said that. And I'm like, that's the way a relationship should be. Like, he literally said they have good conversations, and also like the physical and the sexual chemistry is there. That's how a relationship lasts. You got to be able to have good conversations. You got to be able to sit around each other, enjoy each other's company, low key be best friends, and also be able to be physically and sexually attracted to each other. Like, if you want to have kids, that's the only way you're gonna have them. Well, I ain't gonna say that's the only way you're gonna have them, but in a relationship, I feel like that's the only way you should have them, unless you can't have kids. You know what I'm saying? But Janae and Leah, they're talking again, and well, they're still talking. It's the same conversation. They just clipped it in different ways. But Janae is saying the boys can't be mad at them sleeping in the bed with the men because they were being respectful. Leah says, like, she pretty much asked Janae where her head is out of the three options that she has. And she said Jacoby is safe, Josiah is a risk, but she's still got Kenny. So essentially she wants Kenny. So Janae ends up asking Leah what she should do. And Leah's like, you know what I would do. Like, you know what I would do. And I feel like Leah would go for Josiah. She would go for the risky decision. I think she would. But Janae says that she doesn't think that Kenny's acting up over there. And she says she hopes that he's not. And Leah says the same thing. I hope he's not. But Kenny and Sydney are having a conversation. Kenny is talking to her about how he put up a fort when he was sleeping with Catherine, which I find interesting too, considering what happens later on. He's basically telling Sydney in a way that he's like not really feeling Catherine by saying that you put up a fort. If you was really feeling Catherine like that, you wouldn't be putting up a fort. You'd have been acting like Kordell and like you was and like Aaron. He'd have been up there cuddling and kissing her, but he basically said like I put a blocker between us. But Sydney is talking about how she wants to cuddle, and I'm like, these girls ain't got no shame. They literally are asking for it all. Like that's what a man is supposed to be doing. You the woman, you the one that's supposed to be playing hard to get. These girls are like, come get me, and I'm like, that's not attractive. It's not. But Kenny is saying that he's confused about where his head is at. And he says that Sydney was the main person that he was interested in when he got over there to Casa Amor. And she asked about sharing a bed with him to cuddle, and he agrees to doing it. Like I said, no shame. But they get ready for bed. Sydney goes into the makeup room lying to Catherine, saying that Kenny had pulled her to the side, saying that he wants to sleep with her. I said, stop lying, because you're the one that asked him. You was the one asking him, like, let's sleep together so we can cuddle. I want to cuddle with you. Like, come on, come on. But Serena is outside with the girls, and she is crying. Serena's crying again, so she's hurt. But all the girls end up sleeping outside at the villa. The girls at the villa ended up sleeping outside. The boys is in the bed by themselves. Crazy. Like these Casa dudes that they have in the villa, barely any of them made any kind of movement with these girls. Like they could have pulled some better ones, honestly, because they ain't make none of these girls head turn except for one who was single. So we'll get to it though. But the next morning, Josiah ends up making Janae breakfast. Daya is making Kordell breakfast, and Serena's still stuck on the dry hump. She's like, dry humping is crazy. But George, I remember what his name is finally, even though he's a non-factor, he comes in with breakfast for Nicole and Kayla, which was nice because you could tell Kayla been going through it. So he comes up and gives her breakfast, and she appreciates it. But Kenny and Catherine, they're having a conversation because she pulled him talking about working out. She says she goes to the gym every day but Sunday because she likes walking around looking toned. I said, I feel it. If y'all don't know, I'm a personal trainer. I work out every day, honestly. Since April, especially, I've been working out every single day, but I do about six days out the week on average for a normal day or for a normal week for me, but I feel it. But she ends up asking Kenny, like, if he sees more of a connection with Sydney because she don't like being juggled. So she's basically saying, like, tell me what it is. Like, if you feeling her more so, just let me know. So Kenny ends up saying that his mind is a bit cluttered and clouded. He then starts talking about how he's resistant when it comes to physical, like physicalness with the girls in the with being on the show. And she's like, well, there goes my chance. Like, I came over here wanting to kiss. Again, no shame. These girls are like laying it on thick like a man. And guess what he does? He folds. Of course. Of course. But he ends up leaning into her and they start kissing for a good minute. She liked it. And he immediately says in his confessionals that he was thinking about Janae and knowing that he fucked up. You didn't think about that before you leaned in, but okay. But Jalen back at the villa trying to pull Kayla. Keep in mind, this whole conversation, keep in mind, Kayla said that earlier that she was going to be open now that Aaron had forced her to do it. Keep that in mind. So Jalen ends up telling her that she's always looked good, and he asks her how she's doing. She says she's doing better than yesterday, and Liv and Nicole, they see that they're over there talking, so they over there ear hustling. But she's saying that she doesn't want to have any regrets. Jalen is pretty much saying, like, it's not too late. Like, you're easy to talk to. So he's slick flirting with her, and she's slick flirting back a little bit. And they start talking about their kiss that they had in that challenge. Jalen's touching on her legs, asking her if she is still going to sleep outside tonight, a.k.a. come lay in the bed with me. But Jalen ends up saying that he doesn't want her to lay outside. And he's also saying that he feels like there's something between the two of them. Like he's feeling something and he feels like there's a connection that they can actually build upon. And she starts blushing. I'm like, okay, Kayla, like play into this. Like if anything, get to know the dude. See if you actually might try and see if you might like him. But boy, this right here, this hurt. This was painful to watch. He grabs her neck and tries to pull her in the kiss, and she curved him so hard. I said, damn, that was tough. Just watching it, I said, damn, that was a nasty curve. She curved him so hard and he just couldn't do nothing but smile because that shit was, I know he was embarrassed because I was embarrassed watching it. But Leah ends up getting a text, as she does, Miguel does as well. They get a text about the recoupling. Everybody is nervous because now they know time is dwindling down. You ain't got that much time left. Now it's time to make a decision. You got to face the music now. Kordell is saying that if he leaves Daya, he would have regrets. But if he brings her, Serena's going to feel some type of way about it. I said, duh. Duh. But everybody's getting ready for the recoupling. Kordell is stating that he has to give himself a chance. And he just hopes that everything goes right. You do have, I will say that Kordell does it. He does owe himself that to get to know, or at least give him a chance to get to know Daya. Like I said last night, some of y'all disagreed. I still stand on it. Even though what y'all was saying is true, there is a possibility that the conversations were not shown. But I feel like with as much attention as they've gotten, they would have shown more conversations that they have. I don't see Kordell and Daya having any kind of dialogue. They don't talk about nothing. And like looking at how she's so googly eyed with him and how honestly low of an IQ Kordell seems to have, I just don't see much going on in terms of connection from a conversing situation. But I could be wrong, but that's just the way I feel. But Serena ends up saying this shit is about to rock the world, which we all know it is. Kordell is wearing black. And guess who else is wearing black? Serena. I found that so funny. But the girls, they're on edge. Liv is sitting on go. She ready to go. She ready to get in these dudes' asses. But she says that she is not going to let any of them niggas. She didn't say niggas. I just said that. She ain't going to let any of them niggas get in there and disrespect her friends. But Miguel ends up asking the dudes if any of them regretted choosing to leave the villa to come over to Casa. And Rob is like, no, we all a team. Like, we're going to stand and have this united front. The girls are over there pretty much having a united front as well. So it's the girls versus the guys at this point. And the build up for them going to the recoupling was real tense. I was like, okay, here we go. It's about to get crazy. But Serena ends up saying this villa is going to be up in flames and she might be the one starting the fire. And boy, she did not lie, but we're going to get to it. So the villa cast, they sit by the fire pit. Ariana arrives and we start the recoupling. Ariana has the boys stand up there with her as the girls are going to decide whether to recouple or stay with their couple. Liv is the first one to go, obviously, because we can't build up no dramatic effect with her because she's single. She decides to couple up with Kane. Duh, like she had to choose somebody. But that's what happened there. Nicole chooses to stay with Kendall. That's no shock there. She realized that she was falling for him. Kendall comes back alone. She starts crying. The girls are cheering. And I'm like, it's crazy that they're cheering like they didn't just watch him talking big shit big shit about a lot of them in there. But I'm like, I guess it's for Nicole's sake because they want Nicole to be happy. And she's crying. He comes up talking about how no girl in the Casa Amor had came close to the connection that he had with Nicole. Whatever. Leah is next. And she chooses to stay loyal to Miguel, which I thought was interesting. Even though she knew she said she was going back and forth, but at the end of the day, everything felt natural with Miguel and she felt like they were heading in a good direction and she wanted to stay on that track. Ariana asked her if she thinks that Miguel stays single, and she says she don't know. I'm like, Leah, you know damn well that man did not stay single. But Miguel ends up coming back with Sierra as he should, she looked good. But the girls are flabbergasted. Don't know why. Miguel is the biggest hoe on this cast. You should have known he was gonna come back with a girl. But Leah is now single and vulnerable. Ariana ends up asking how it makes him feel seeing Leah sitting there single. And he says he still wants to explore their connection even though he's there with Sierra. Like he wants to explore both of their connections. And Ariana said, but you're coupled up with Sierra. And Leah ends up saying like they did only have 2 days together, coupled up. She's saying like, of course, I cherish those 2 days. And she said she felt like he was coming back with the girl regardless, but she still likes him. So we'll see what happens there. Honestly, I feel like Sierra would be the best fit for Miguel. Like she would be the type to tame him. I feel like him and Leah are literally they one and the same, like two sides of the same coin. But I feel like Sierra is good for stability. It just depends on Miguel if he actually really wants to settle down. But I don't think he does. But whatever, we'll see. Janae. Janae is next up. She talks about how Josiah and Jacoby are great. She's appreciative of the energy that they gave her, but she chooses to stay loyal to who? Kenny. She's hoping that he's smart because if he brings somebody back, it's going to be a problem. Ariana said, what's that? What's the problem? What's going to be the problem? She says, sometimes I can get a little crazy, and if a girl comes back, hold my mic. AKA, we about to get it cracking up in here. And everybody started laughing, and I started laughing. Janae is funny. But Kenny comes back with Catherine. I said, Lord. Janae had 3 options, and she still ended up single. I said, this is crazy. Crazy. She should have just pulled Jacoby. Just pull Jacoby, because if anybody has the upper hand in that couple that they have, it's her. Like, honestly, like she should have. I'm like, Janae, you fucked up. But everybody in there is tripping at this point. Like all the girls is tripping. Janae ends up saying she's done. She's like, I'm done. Before they even got, because they walking up, before they even got to where Ariana was, I'm done. Get me the fuck out of here. Give me my suitcases. Liv is trying to stop her. Janae is like, I'm tired of taking L's. Liv is saying like it shows more about his character than yours. And the girls are pretty much going in saying that y'all had a time. Like, y'all really out here doing us dirty like this. That's what all the girls is doing. So Ariana ends up asking Kenny how it makes him feel seeing Janae standing there single. And he says he's surprised. Janae said, why would you feel surprised? He says that their time was limited and he wasn't sure if he had done enough to convince her of trusting him. And Casa Amor had provided him space to approach other ladies and he appreciated it. Janae says, so you built a stronger connection with her or me? Like, give it to me straight. Don't waste my time. Liv says that you brought her in, so you should know. I said, you're right. You're right, Liv. And guess what? He says at the moment his connection with Janae is stronger. They're like, what? He says where he wanted to bring Catherine in because he feels like with time, he feels that they could get to the point where him and Janae are. And he wanted to give it more time. So I'm like, at this point, you're saying you and Janae have a stronger connection, but it sounds like you want you and Catherine to have a stronger connection than you and Janae. So I'm like, Janae, you should have pulled somebody. Like, you should have pulled somebody. But Kenny ends up saying that he hasn't been tested. And I'm like, we haven't been tested. We haven't been tested. That's the thing that a lot of these dudes on this show say. I'm trying to think if a girl has said it before, but I feel like regardless if it's a dude or a girl saying that, why do you want to be tested if it's a good thing? Like, it's like you want to be sabotaged. Like, it's too good to be true type of deal. Is it too bad to have a good thing going on? Like, why do you want to test? I don't understand that. But then again, that's why I said Janae should have pulled Jacoby because Kenny is young. Yes, he kind of masked his maturity earlier, but like you can't play with a nigga that's young. I'm just take it from me. I'm grown. I'm a grown man, but I know how dudes, my younger dudes, I know how our brains are. Even though I've never been young in the mind, I've always been mature. But niggas grow, they mature slower than women. Y'all know this. Like, so you can't take that for granted. You can't not take it for granted. You can't misinterpret what is in front of you. You got to take that into account too. But Janae is pretty much saying that she had so much respect for him and thought about him every single night. She slept with a pillow between her and every dude that she was laying with. She's pretty much just telling him, look, I had all this respect for you. You didn't have none for me. We get to Kayla. And then I want to mention too. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna say that. That's rude. I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna say what I was about to say. If you follow me on Twitter, you might know what I was about to say, but I'm not about to say it on here. We move to Kayla. Kayla, Ariana ends up asking her how she's doing. Kayla ends up talking about how she slept outside every night and thought about Aaron every night. We know. But she mentions they mentioned, well, I think she mentioned the video. Yeah, she mentioned the video that put everything into perspective and says that maybe she don't really know who Aaron is. And she chooses to stay single. She says, I didn't find a better connection with anybody, but Aaron ain't stay loyal to me, so I'm not gonna be loyal to him. So Aaron ends up coming back alone, and Aaron is sitting there cheering because he sees her standing up there alone, thinking that, oh, she chose to stay with me. He's sitting there cheering. I'm like, nigga, be for real. You know good and damn well they probably saw something, and if anything, the way you cheering, you acting like you was over there just not doing nothing. Like, regardless, you know your shit is gonna come to light. Like, regardless if it hasn't already, it's gonna be shown what you was doing over there because you was not over there being loyal to her. But Kayla ends up letting him know that she's had a video sent to her and told him to go ahead and start talking. You go ahead and tell me what's going on. Aaron ends up saying that it'd be better to explain after. And Ariana said, I got all the time in the world. I said, I know that's right. Make him start talking. Get to talking. So he then tells her, telling Kayla to explain what she saw. I'm like, nigga, you explain it. Why the fuck she got to do it? You tell her because you the one that got something to say. You the one that has something to literally let her know about. So, and I feel like he was doing that too, just to hear what she would say so he could build off of it. He needed time to really think about what to say to kind of take the heat off of him, which we're going to get to it later on because I feel like that was why he didn't answer certain things later on. But she says, what do you think I saw? I said, I'm glad she's throwing it back at him. And he says, I don't know what you saw. So she starts crying, saying how she slept outside, thinking about him. Then she received a video of him biting on a girl's arm, flirting, and saying that he wanted to kiss her. But he doesn't want to hurt somebody. And she said it's hurtful because she's been nothing but respectful to him the whole time with Casa Amor. And Kendall is saying in the video that that's definitely not Kayla, resulting in her comparing herself to whatever was going on between Aaron and whatever girl. So he's standing there red in the face with his fake ass. And I'm talking about I'm talking about Aaron. But she then says that she decided to stay single and told Kendall straight to his face she considered him as one of her brothers and it was hurtful what he and Rob had did. So Aaron is now single and vulnerable, as is Kayla. But Ariana ends up asking Liv what she thinks about all this. Of course, Liv gonna have something to say. She bigs up Kayla, talking about how great she is, and she starts crying, obviously. But she then tells Aaron she's too good for him. I'm like, do I agree with that or do I not agree with that? Because I keep thinking about what she did earlier. But then again, I'm like, I guess. Because she does, as annoying as Kayla is, she does, even though she did what she did at the beginning, you can tell she's all about him. And she would give him all the attention that he would want. So I guess. But Rob comes back with Daniela. Kayla is sitting there clapping like a bozo. I'm like, Kayla, you don't realize who he's walking in here with. I'm like, what? Janae says, ain't that the one that Aaron was over there in the video with? And Janae is pretty much asking Aaron, like, is that Daniela? Is that the one that you was doing? Is that the one that you was dealing with? Aaron sitting there not saying nothing. And Kayla saying, no, that's not her. They saying, yes, it is. That is her. And Liv is like, what the fuck? No, I don't think it was Liv. It was Leah. Like, what the fuck? Janae ends up whispering to Kayla, pretty much making sure that she pretty much said, like, don't make sure she don't sit next to you. Like, if she get up here, make sure she don't sit next to you. Nicole starts laughing at the sight of the two of them walking up. And Rob is talking about how he had fun at Casa Amor. Nicole's like, of course you did. But Ariana ends up asking Daniela how her time was in Casa Amor. She said it was really great. I'm sure it was. But Ariana ends up asking, like, what was it about Daniela that caught Rob's eye? And he said that he liked talking to her. I'm like, you barely talked to her. Like, you literally talked to her the day before. But Ariana ends up asking him if he feels like he's finally found the right girl because he done been in so many couples. And he says it's too soon to tell, but we'll see. Janae ends up asking Aaron, is that not weird to you? I'm like, that's a valid question because that's your best friend, but you was over there fooling with her. So Janae's pretty much saying, like, I know what you was doing. Is that not weird to you? He's sitting there talking about he'll tell her later. I'm like, why? So you can sit and think about what you want to say. Like, you got to build up a story to kind of get the heat off of you because with you being asked on the spot, you can't lie. You can't try and figure something out. That's why he's trying to, let's talk about it later. Let's talk about it later so you can think about what you need to say. But Janae lets Rob know that they know about the video. They seen the video. Aaron ends up saying that you got a 1 minute video. Nicole said, yeah, of you saying that you wanted to kiss her. Like, he's sitting there trying to act like they don't know what they know. And it's just like, that just proved my point. You trying to literally gaslight them low key and make them think that nothing was happening and they're overreacting when you literally did it. And they didn't even see what you did, but they know what you did. Like, let's keep it real. But Aaron don't know what to say. Nicole says that we got a lot of bodies in this bitch. I said, right. It's too many people. It's too many people on that couch. And it's because all the guys brought girls back and all the girls, except for Liv, decided to not. But we get to Serena. This is where it gets crazy. She says the last few days have been fun because the guys have made it enjoyable. But the second the guys left, she's been thinking about Kordell. She's talking about my man, my man, my man. I've been sitting outside with Kayla getting torn up by these damn mosquitoes. And she said, like, our last conversations, she meant everything that she said to Kordell. And clearly he didn't mean none of that shit to her. Serena chooses to stay single. She said, I don't want to couple up with any of the boys, but I damn sure don't want to couple up with Kordell, whether he comes back single or not, because I got more respect for myself than to put up with disrespect. And the difference between her and Kayla is she will actually stand on that shit. I see Serena standing on that shit. Kayla, I can see folding. But Kordell comes back with Daya. Serena starts laughing. I started laughing too. The girls are floored. Leah's face died. But Kordell is literally walking and talking with Daya like they're looking. This nigga is walking, looking at the floor, and Daya is walking and cheesing like she just won the lottery. I'm like, Daya, you are too beautiful to be this big of a bird. This nigga can't even look up. He's walking in, looking down. He's not even proud. He ain't taking no pride walking in there with you. And she's sitting over there cheesing. I'm like, Daya, come on. Have some shame. Like, none of these girls have no kind of shame. That nigga was not even excited to walk in there. He wasn't proud to walk in there with her on his arm. He's walking in there head down. I'm like, that's crazy. But Ariana ends up asking him how he feels seeing Serena standing there alone. And he says, not good. And he says it super softly. Serena says, speak up. Leah's sitting there co-signing, yeah, speak up. Say that shit with your chest. I was like, they about to be on his head. And I knew it was going to be hard for him because that IQ was it's not where it needs to be to keep up with these girls. It's about to tag up on him the way they do. But he ends up saying that seeing her alone is not good. Liv said, that's it. He ends up looking down, saying that it's tough. And he said that he felt that he knew she was going to be standing alone and he's been feeling a little shitty. Serena says you wasn't feeling too shitty in that bed when you were sitting there dry humping and they sitting there laughing and taunting him and doing this. I was like, damn, this is getting crazy. But Kordell ends up saying that he gets that they got a video and some things were taken out of context clues. He said context. I died. I said Kordell. Taken out of context is what you meant, but there was nothing taken out of context with that video. Well, maybe it was if you want to think about it, because we kind of took it out of context. Because I damn sure thought they was in there fucking, but they wasn't. But Serena said nothing was taken out of context. The dry humping was very clear, and it was. But Serena said, FYI, I've been sleeping outside getting tore up by these damn mosquitoes while you was in there having a ball. She then says, how she been saying that she had been missing him since he left. I've been missing you. And then I got the video and clearly there was no consideration for me. She then also says that he ain't have nobody. She's pretty much saying this to everybody up there. He ain't have nobody in here this entire time that he was into besides me. And he clearly didn't explore it, talking about him and Daya in a respectful way. But she knew the minute that he got some attention, he was going to get his little petey whacker wet. fucking lost it. They was laughing. Serena was on his head. I was like, damn, Kordell, she's about to ether you. But she ends up saying that I'm glad you found somebody, babe. Ariana asked him, what was it about Dyer that made you feel like y'all had a strong connection? He then says that he wanted to see how it would be if it was stronger in the villa. So that's why he brought her there. He wanted to see where it would end up going with him and Serena as well. And I'm like, so you just wanted to have two girls in the house to play with at this point? Because basically what Serena was saying is true. He's excited to finally get that attention, which I'm not mad at him because he deserves some type of attention, but like he you can tell he's not used to getting attention because anybody that's gotten some attention, or at least somebody who's can see and knows what to look for in a relationship, you can see. And maybe I'm misjudging, but I'm gonna just take it for what I see it as on this edited TV show. Daya seems like she's all about just like the chemistry. Like I don't see anything else besides that. Yes, it's great to be physically wanted, but like that seemed like a hit it and quit it type of deal, which I hate saying that about her because she's a beautiful girl. But that's just what it comes down to. And like I said in my video last night, building a foundation with somebody and then still having that sexual chemistry, that's what you want. That's what you shoot for. But he says that Serena might not believe that he's sorry, but or he said that Serena might not believe what he's saying, but he was thinking about her the whole time. So I'm like, even when you was tonguing down Daya, you was thinking about Serena. I said, damn, Daya, damn. Serena ends up saying it's crazy that you was thinking about me when you was bouncing that thing. Talking about bouncing Daya up on that, you know what. Kordell is sitting there trying to deny what was happening, and Leah and Serena and all the girls are chiming in. We saw the video, like you was bouncing that thing. They was like, you was bouncing it and slapping that ass. I was dying. I'm like, damn. Serena says, I really, really wish you the best. Like, I'm wiping my hands with this shit. Like, do you, boo? He then apologizes, and Serena gave him that strong middle finger. She said, and then she licked the shit. I was like, she ain't playing in his face. Like she's literally playing now. She getting her shit back now. But he says, I guess it don't matter at this point. And he says, I'm not going to disrespect how she feels. She said, you ain't respect anything else. So I don't want to hear anything else. I don't care what you got to say. I don't want to fucking hear it. So then they go sit down. She says, disrespectful as fuck. Ariana ends up bringing Destiny and Sydney from Casa Amor with the other five guys that are now going home. Sunday is drama. It's drama. Kordell and Serena getting into it. Dia look like she crying about Kordell possibly playing in her face. Who else? Kenny over there crying. He suddenly became a victim because him and Janae are getting into it. Kayla and Aaron. Sunday gonna be crazy. But let me know what y'all think down below. I've been stumbling all over my words tonight because I am TIRED. But please, thumbs up the video as y'all did the last video I just posted. Great interactions. Let's do that again. Thumbs it up. Drop the comments down below. Subscribe. Share the video. And I will see y'all. Thank God we got a day off tomorrow, but I'll see y'all on Sunday. Peace.